I wake with a start, the familiar weight of dread settling over me before I even open my eyes. The red numbers on my bedside clock read 6:47 a.m. Wednesday, October 12th. I already know what day it is. I've lived it countless times. Daniel? Sarah's voice drifts from the bathroom, followed by the sound of running water. Can you make sure Emma gets her science project? It's on the dining room table. My throat tightens. I want to scream, to grab Sarah and Emma and just drive. Drive anywhere but where they're supposed to go today. But I've tried. God, I've tried everything. I swing my legs over the edge of the bed, my movements mechanical. The wooden floor creaks in exactly the same spot it always does. The neighbour's dog barks 3 times, then falls silent. The coffee machine in the kitchen has already started brewing because Sarah set the timer last night, like she always does. Daddy? Emma appears in the doorway, her backpack slung over one shoulder, her science project, a model of the solar system, clutched awkwardly in her small hands. She's wearing the blue sweater with the stars on it, her favourite. Can you help me wrap this in plastic? Ms. Wilson said it might rain today. I stare at my daughter, my beautiful, perfect 8-year-old daughter, and feel the familiar pressure building behind my eyes. I've memorized every freckle on her nose, every strand of her chestnut hair, the exact shade of her hazel eyes. I've tried to commit every detail to memory because I know what's coming, and I know I can't stop it. Sure, sweetie, I say, my voice steadier than I feel. Let's get some plastic wrap from the kitchen. The morning unfolds with the same terrible precision as it always does. Sarah rushes to make breakfast while simultaneously packing lunches and reviewing notes for her afternoon presentation. She's being considered for partner at her law firm. She's excited, nervous. She'll never make it to that presentation. I might be home late tonight, she says, kissing my cheek. Don't wait up. I grip her arm too tightly. Don't go, I plead, knowing it's futile. Call in sick. Let's take Emma to the beach. Just stay home today. Sarah gives me that look, concerned, slightly annoyed. Daniel, we've talked about this. Your therapist said these anxious episodes. It's not anxiety, I snap, then immediately regret it when Emma looks up from her cereal, eyes wide. I've tried this approach before, dozens of times. It never works. Sarah sighs. We'll talk tonight, okay? I really have to go. She kisses Emma's forehead. Be good for Ms. Wilson. I love you. Love you too, Mummy, Emma says through a mouthful of Cheerios. And then Sarah is out the door, car keys jingling. I have approximately 4 hours and 27 minutes until I get the call about the pile-up on Highway 16. Sarah will be 3 cars behind the semi that jackknifes. There will be no survivors in the first 5 vehicles. I drive Emma to school, memorizing her chatter about planets and stars. I've heard it all before, but I listen like it's the first time because in some ways it always is. When we arrive, I hold her longer than usual. Dad, you're squishing me, she complains, wriggling free. I love you, Emma, I tell her, my voice breaking. More than anything in the world. She rolls her eyes in that way only children can. Love you too, Dad. See you after school. But she won't see me after school. At 1:13 p.m., While her class is on a field trip to the Natural History Museum, the school bus will be T-boned by a delivery truck whose driver fell asleep at the wheel. Emma and 14 other children won't survive. I watch her skip up the steps and disappear into the school building. The first time I lived this day, I had no idea it would be the last time I'd see her alive. I've tried everything. In the early repetitions, I was frantic, calling Sarah repeatedly until she finally turned off her phone in frustration, racing to Emma's school to pull her out of class, attempting to intercept the delivery truck driver before he started his route. None of it worked. Sarah still died. Emma still died. If I managed to keep Sarah home, she'd receive a call from a colleague who was involved in the same accident. If I kept Emma from school, the bus would still crash, but she'd be struck by a car while we were walking in the park instead. Once, I even tried to end my own life, thinking it might break the cycle. I woke up at 6:47 a.m. Wednesday, October 12th. Today, I sit in my car outside Emma's school for hours after dropping her off, staring at my phone, waiting for the call I know will come. I've spent so many iterations trying to change things that I've exhausted myself. Some days, like today, I simply observe, searching for some detail I've missed, some loophole in this hell I've been condemned to. At 11:42 a.m., I notice something I haven't before. A man standing across the street, watching the school. He's middle-aged, wearing a grey coat, and for a moment, I swear he's looking directly at me. Then he turns and walks away. My heart races. In all my repetitions of this day, I've never noticed him before. Is he new? Or have I been so focused on Sarah and Emma that I've overlooked potential clues? I start the car and follow him, keeping a safe distance. He walks for several blocks, then enters a small coffee shop. I park hurriedly and follow. Inside, he's already seated at a corner table, a steaming cup in front of him. He looks up as I approach, and a sad smile crosses his face. "Daniel," he says, my name sounding strange on his lips. "I was wondering when you'd notice me." I slide into the chair across from him, my hands trembling. "Who are you? How do you know my name?" "I'm like you," he says simply, "caught in a loop of my own. Different day, different tragedy, same hell." My mouth goes dry. You're trapped too." He nods. "There are more of us than you'd think, all living our worst days over and over." "Why?" I demand, leaning forward. "Why is this happening?" "I don't know," he admits. "Some say it's punishment, some say it's a test. I've been in my loop for what feels like decades, and I still don't have answers. Have you ever broken free?" His eyes fill with something like pity. "No, but I've learned to live with it, to find small moments of not happiness exactly, but peace. Peace." I spit the word. "My family dies today, every day. How can there be peace in that?" "You can't save them, Daniel," he says softly. "I've watched you try. We all try at first." Rage floods through me. "Then what's the point? Why make me live this over and over if nothing changes?" "Maybe nothing external changes," he says, "but you can change." My phone rings. The call I've been dreading. I let it go to voicemail, already knowing what the message will say. I have to go, I tell him, standing abruptly. My daughter will die today, he finishes, like she has every other time. But you can choose to be with her when it happens. That's one thing you can control. I stare at him, the realization dawning. You mean the hospital? They'll take her there before she passes. You can be holding her hand. I've never made it to the hospital in time before. I've always been too busy trying to prevent the inevitable. I break every traffic law getting to Metro Hospital, skidding into the emergency parking lot just as the ambulances are arriving. Chaos reigns, injured children being rushed inside, parents arriving in various states of panic and grief. I push my way through, flashing Emma's picture on my phone to every nurse and doctor I pass. Finally, a young resident points me to Trauma Room 3. She's there, so small on the huge hospital bed, tubes and wires connecting her broken body to machines that beep and hiss. Her eyes are closed, her face pale beneath the smears of blood. "Emma," I whisper, taking her small hand in mine. "Daddy's here." Her eyelids flutter. "Dad?" Her voice is barely audible. "I'm here, sweetheart." Tears stream down my face. "I'm right here." "It hurts," she whimpers. "I know, baby. I know." I stroke her hair, careful to avoid the bandages. "But I'm with you now. I won't leave you." Her breathing is labored. A nurse gives me a look that says what I already know. There isn't much time. "Tell me about the stars again," Emma whispers. So I do. I tell her about constellations and supernovas, about how stars are born and how they die, about how their light continues to travel through space long after they're gone. I talk until her breathing slows, until the machines start to wail, until the doctors rush in and gently pull me away. This time, I was there. This time, she wasn't alone. When I return home, the house is silent, empty. I sit on Emma's bed, clutching her favorite stuffed animal, and wait for sleep to claim me, knowing I'll wake again at 6:47 a.m. to the same terrible Wednesday. But something has shifted inside me. The man in the coffee shop was right. I can't change what happens, but I can change how I live through it. The next morning, when I wake to the red numbers reading 6:47 a.m., I don't feel the same crushing despair. Instead, I feel a strange sense of purpose. "Daniel," Sarah calls from the bathroom, "can you make sure Emma gets her science project?" "Yes," I answer, my voice steady. "And Sarah, I love you so much." There's a pause. Then she appears in the doorway, toothbrush in hand, a smile lighting her beautiful face. "I love you too. What brought that on?" "Just wanted you to know," I say, rising to meet her.